Guys, according to my poll right there, this is your favorite new trail camera. Let's find out why. What's up guys, it's Dwayne from Mountain Buck. Today I'm checking out the brand new Tactacam Reveal X 3.0 cellular trail camera. Now it has been a while since Tactacam released any Reveal trail cameras, and they finally dropped two new ones on us this hunting season. I'm talking about the Pro 3.0 and the X 3.0. I will be covering both of those cameras. In this video though here, we're talking about the X 3.0, and this camera has some interesting new features, including 4K photos and 1080p videos. Now, traditionally we measure photo quality in megapixels, but they're saying 4K. And we also talk about 1080p, we talk about video in terms of 4K, but we're gonna get into that and examine exactly how good the photo and video quality is for this camera. The thing I'm really excited about with these new cameras is they offer up to 30 seconds of video through the cellular network to your cell phone, which the industry standard here is 15 seconds. Most cellular trail cam companies give you 15-second video clips. Some of them give you 10 seconds. Tactacam here gives you 30, and that is the thing I'm most excited about. I want to see what the bucks are doing out there. If they're hitting a food plot, hitting a mock scrape, rubbing, trailing doe, whatever they're doing, I want to see it, and that 30 seconds is going to offer me a lot more insight into what those deer are doing out there. Let's get into this box. So right out of the gate, you get a quick start guide. So here is the X 3.0 right out of the packaging, and it looks a little bit different than what we're used to with our Reveal trail cameras here. So we have this antenna up top here, this mounting plate here, and on the side, you have this really nice fixture here where you could put this antenna, you could fold it away for transport and put it right inside that little rubber plate there, which is pretty interesting. This camera is pre-installed. You don't have to worry about screwing this thing in anymore, and it is very versatile. This thing will also jump on whatever cellular network is best in your area. So you don't have to worry about putting in that SIM card for Verizon or AT&T anymore. This will connect to most carriers and will connect to whichever one is best in your area. So we do have the motion sensor up here. This new X 3.0 has a low glow IR, so you're gonna have very minimal red lights at night, and we'll check that out later as well. Down bottom here, you have a plug for a 12-volt solar panel or external battery pack. I do recommend a solar panel on the cellular trail cameras because I really like to leave them out there in the field and let the sun do the work. I do have videos on the performance of the Tactacam solar panel, so you want to check those out. You also have a thread mount on here if you want to mount it that way. You have straps for the tree in the back here if you want to mount it with a strap, and you have a thread mount on the base here as well. When we open the door here, we have a very familiar Reveal setup. So this is pretty standard for the Reveal cameras. You have the on, off, and setup switch right here. You also have the LED light indicators to let you know what's going on with your camera up top here. You have a test button if you want to get a test image to make sure you're framed up properly. Your eject button here is going to eject your battery cartridge. Now this camera does take 12 AA batteries, and this does boast best-in-class battery life for this Reveal camera, and these cameras do have pretty solid battery life. Over here on the side, it's a little bit hard to see, but you have a slot right here for a standard size SD card. Now these new Reveal cameras have 8 gigs of internal storage inside here, so this slot is optional, but I would definitely recommend getting a standard size SD card, 32 gigs. Put that in there because you don't want to miss any of the action. You want to make sure you have all of your stuff on there. You also have a little USB-C connection right here. Let's get this thing fired up and put some batteries in here, get it fired up, and check the settings. To add a new camera, hit that menu button in the Reveal app and add a camera. Select your plan and continue. Select the 3.0 cameras option. Scan that QR code, install batteries, install the optional SD card, and turn on the camera. Name your camera, select your location, and add your zip code for weather. It'll take about a minute to activate your camera. I didn't add the zip code, but you can add it here again if you want. Let's check those camera settings. For camera mode, I always go with pic plus video so I can see everything if I want. Image size will max out at 4K. Video size, bump it up to 1080p. Of course, we are maxing out with 30-second videos here. Here are your multi-shot options and multi-shot interval. This extra service allows you to get on-demand photos and unlimited HD photos and videos. For night mode options, we'll keep it at minimum blur. Here's your flash power for nighttime IR. You can set a capture delay here. Work timer allows you to determine its working time. SD loop will write over old files on your SD card with new files. I always go with the SanDisk Extreme Pro 32GB, and I'll link that item in the description below. Set your motion sensitivity here, and we'll leave it at 7. I always go with the hybrid setting for image transfer with the Reveal cameras. I really like the functionality, timing, and battery life efficiency this mode offers. Set a check-in picture for your camera if you like. Apply all settings and we are good to go. All right, our settings are right where we want them. Let's get the X 3.0 outside and run some tests. All right, our Reveal X 3.0 is all set and ready to go out here. We are ready to test this thing out. The first test I'm gonna do is the image clarity, image quality test. And how I do this one is I have an eye chart very similar to the one you have in your optometrist office to check your vision. And what I'm gonna do here is stand about 15 feet in front of the camera and see how clear those images are. This camera has a 4K photo quality and 1080p video quality. Let's see how clear these images are. Next up is our trigger speed analysis. Now this camera has a 0.35 second trigger, which is a bit faster than the old Reveal models with their sub 0.5 second trigger. So we're gonna test this thing out today. And how we do that is I have a cone set up 10 yards back there. I'm just gonna run right by and see how quickly this camera is gonna pick me up. Let's find out. Next up is our detection range test. Now the X 3.0 has a 96-foot detection range and 96-foot flash range with that no glow IR technology in there. We have an improved motion sensor. So what I'm gonna do for this test is I have 4 cones set up back there behind me. First one's at 10 yards, then 20, 25, and finally all the way out at 30 yards to see how far out this camera's gonna capture me. Let's find out. All right, so that is it for our detection range test. And guys, as you can see, I spent a lot of time out here testing out these cameras, breaking down all the features and specs. So if you could hook me up and hit subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Now let's check out this footage. Here are the image quality test results, and this is the standard version you get from the app. I've blown it up a bit, and you can see down to line 7 before it gets too blurry. Here's the HD version, and when you blow that up, you can see pretty good down to line 9 or maybe even 10 there. You can make some of those letters out. Here's the video quality you get when requesting videos from the app, and you can see down to about line 8 there with this 1080p video. So I did some investigating on that whole 4K image quality thing, and I'm testing the Pro 3.0 along with the X 3.0, so check back for that video. But what I noticed there when I was going through the on-screen settings, it had 20 megapixels as the max. Now, I can't prove that because they provided a couple updates since then, and that option is no longer available, but I'm pretty sure I saw 20 megapixels, very similar to the older Reveals from a couple years ago. So we're probably looking at a 20 megapixel camera here. The trigger speed caught me after mid-frame, so we are looking at around a 0.5 second trigger, which is very similar to the older Reveal models. The detection range caught me at every marker all the way out to 30 yards or 90 feet. Here's an example of the daytime image quality. Nice image of that little buck here. Here's the HD version of the same image. And it's tough to tell the difference, so I've blown both images up and put them side by side so you can see the difference between the standard version and the HD version. The HD side is much more clear and you can see a lot more detail. Here's the nighttime image quality. And here's the HD version. And again, here's the side-by-side comparison, and you can see that HD version on the right is a decent bit more clear. Here's the daytime video quality, and I'm loving that 30-second video because you could see so much of the action. You can get a lot of good info on that buck and what his rack looks like. If I only had 15 seconds of this video, he may never have lifted his head to see what he's got going on there. Let's take a listen to the audio. Here's the nighttime video quality. Pretty nice quality here, and it's lit well with those low glow infrared lights. Here's the infrared this camera puts off at nighttime with that low glow functionality. Over the course of my test period, the X 3.0 took 104 photos and recorded 104 30-second videos in the background, and the battery life is still at 100%. Now, I did see it fluctuate a bit, but it was always in the high 90s, and it jumped back to 100%. So there it is, guys, the Tactacam Reveal X 3.0. This thing has some great battery life, takes some really nice pictures and videos, and I am absolutely loving the new 30-second video feature. It's really easy to see why this is your favorite new trail camera. As always, the links to the guys we talk about are in the description below. Guys, get yourself some killer mountain buck gear. Do me a favor, hook me up and hit subscribe. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one.